Hello YouTubers, Alaska Prepper here. I thought I'd go ahead and show you guys what the sunrise looks like through the trees, as I told you guys what I'm up to today. So I've been storing rice in this manner for about a year and a half now. I started doing this because my wife bought me this special receptacle to store dried goods in, and I wasn't sure how it was going to work. So I figured I'd try it. It's been about a year and a half since I've been doing this, and the results are outstanding. Now, this is a great method that you can use to store bulk rice for pretty long term. Like I said, about a year and a half without having to use oxygen absorbers or Mylar bags or anything like that. So using this method, you can store what you're going to use in about a year and not worry about it going bad or getting eaten up by bugs or anything like that. So let's go ahead and get to it. Enjoy the view. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed that beautiful sunrise, ladies and gentlemen. It is a beautiful day out here. We had a little bit of rain yesterday, but boy, it's a beautiful day out here, and it's not that warm. It's been about in the 70s for the last few days, but right now it's a nice 52, 53 degrees outside, albeit it's only about 5 o'clock in the morning or less. So let's get to it, ladies and gentlemen. So this is the rice that I'm going to put away for storage today. Now, when I say put away for storage, I'm going to be using this rice as the year goes along. I'm not sure if you guys saw a video way back. I don't even remember how old it was. Probably more than a year old, where I was actually putting some rice into the container that I'm going to be talking about here. And that's the rice that I use on a weekly, daily basis. Whenever we need rice, we go into it. And for about the last year and a half or so, we've gone as a family through about 60 pounds of rice or so. I went ahead and emptied a little bit that was left out of the container so that I can show you guys how much fits in there. But I think you guys are going to be pretty impressed as to how long this rice stays good for when stored in this manner. Now, let me go ahead and tell you a quick story. I saw a video a long time ago, more than a year and a half, 2 years ago, that kind of inspired me to try to do this, thinking that if they can do it where they are, we should be able to do it here where we are, because our conditions here are probably a little bit better depending where you live. I was watching a video about Vietnam, and it was centered on a family that lived kind of like in the, I don't want to say the jungle, but definitely not in the city, right? They lived in an area that was humid and hot for a lot of the year, especially during the rainy season when it's really humid there. And in a corner of their house, they had 1 ton of rice stored. They had 40 50-pound bags of rice stored in like a corner of their house. Now, the house that they lived in was a really big house, but it was an open house, meaning that it wasn't insulated. It wasn't protected against the outside elements as far as wind getting in and things like that. It didn't have windows or anything like that. The windows that it did have was like shutters, right, that would let air in and all that kind of stuff. So it really wasn't protected against the heat or the humidity of where they lived. And someone asked the young lady that was giving him his tour of the house, what is all that rice for? And she told them that in the beginning of the year, they buy all of the rice that they're going to eat all year long for the whole family, and they store it there. And this was like a family of 6 people. Now think about that, ladies and gentlemen. They go through 1 ton of rice for 6 people in 1 year. And that's because in their culture, they eat rice mainly almost every meal of the day. So that was enough rice to get them through the whole year. And I was thinking to myself, well, how in the world is it that they can keep this rice good for a year, just leaving it in their original sacks and leaving it out there on the floor of their house, right? Of the corner of their house that they had it in. And it was good. Nothing wrong with it, right? So they ate it throughout the year. So I'm like, we should be able to do that here at a capacity that we are comfortable with, meaning how much rice do we use in a year? So I just found out this last year that we go through about 60 pounds of rice in a year. That's roughly 5 pounds of rice a month, which is about right, because we usually cook rice here probably at least once a week, sometimes twice a week. So 5 pounds a month sounds just about right. So being able to store rice in a 60-pound container for the year without having to worry about that rice going bad would be a good thing. So let me show you what it is that I'm talking about. Now this here is a storage bin, and my wife got this for me from Costco, like I said, about 1.5 years or a little more than 1.5 years ago. And when she first got it, I was like, what are we going to use this for? And she said, well, we can use one of those for pet food, because she got 2. She said, we can use one of those for the dog food, and the other one, I figured that you can use it to store whatever you want in it. And I started thinking, well, what could I store in there? And then I came up with the idea of storing rice in here after after remembering that video that I watched about the family in Vietnam that stored all that rice in their house. And what this is this is a container that holds 65 pounds of dried goods. And it has what's called, I believe these are called gamma lids. And they twist on and off, and they have a gasket right here which will make it airtight once you seal it on. They're not hard to put on or to take off. All you have to do is make sure that you seat it and then twist it until the seal is seated on the container. Now let me go ahead and show you the inside of it so you can see how deep it goes. So there you go. You can see there's still a few grains of rice there in the corner from what I had left over. I had probably about 5 pounds left over from the stock that I put there before, and I emptied it in a bag, and I'm going to place that on top of the new rice that I put in there. But towards the end, I'm also going to show you what the rice that was in here looks like compared to the rice that we're going to put in there looks like. So this is a very simple container. I actually looked these up, and they do sell these at Amazon. They run for about $35 per, and they sell different sizes as well. So if 65 pounds is too big for you, I believe they sell 25-pound or 35-pound containers as well. And like I said, I've been able to keep my rice in here for well over a year without it going bad. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to dump, let's see, we've got 55 pounds of rice that we're going to go ahead and dump in here. You can see over there that we have 2 of those yellow Calrose bags. Those are 15 pounds a piece. And we have that 125-pound bag of Calrose rice. They're different brands, but they're the same kind of rice. So that's why I don't mind putting them together. And they both come from California. They're probably from the same farm, that raised them. They just have different brands on them. So we're going to go ahead and dump these in here. Then I'm going to show you what the rice looks like and what it looks like in here once I put in 55 pounds in a container that's supposed to hold 65 pounds. Now I've already put 30 pounds of rice in here, and it's not even halfway up to the top. So this thing will definitely take 65 pounds, as I've only got another 25 pounds to put in here. So let's see how far it goes up. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That is 55 pounds of rice right there. And as you can see, we still have plenty of room to put more in here. Like I said, I have about 5 pounds of the older rice that I'm going to put right on top of here. In addition to that, I am going to go ahead and put in a couple of bay leaves. I don't think it's really necessary because I've already frozen this rice once and then let it sit for a few days. before putting it in here, like you saw me do just now. But I always do it anyways because I already have them. Old man sent those to me about a year ago, and I've been using them. So I'll go ahead and put a couple of bay leaves in there. So now let me go ahead and show you what the new rice looks like and what the older rice looks like. Okay, so this rice right here is some of the rice that was left over in there in that corner like you saw. And this is what it looks like right here. Okay, I'm not sure how well you can see that, but I'm going to go ahead and place it on this yellow surface so that you can see the difference. So that there's what the rice looks like that has been in there for over a year. This here rice is some rice that I took out of this container here just now, and this is what the new rice looks like. I'm going to go ahead and do a close-up so you guys can see right next to each other. And as you can see, there is really no difference in this rice. This is the new rice, and this is the older rice. So it did a really good job at preserving that rice in that container, and no damage has come to it. And like I said, ladies and gentlemen, over a year and a half, I would say at least 1 year and a half, because today is May, right? Yes, I would say about a year and a half that I've had this rice right here in this container, and no harm at all has come to it. So I think it's a great way to be able to store your ready-to-use rice in bulk. That way you don't have to bother with putting it in small containers or working off of a small bag. This will save you a lot of money because that way you can buy in bulk and you can have somewhere to put it that's neat and organized. And there's one other thing that I want to show you about. You can see how easy it is to put this lid on. All you have to do is, it's just a twist down lid. It's not a big deal. So all you have to do is just make sure it's seated. And right there it's nice and snug. You don't have to put it on super tight. But one other thing that I really like about this is that these are stackable. And what you can do is when you do your rice, you can either do it downward or this way. And you can stack these on top of each other. I think you can stack up to like 3 of these on top of each other. So if you have a corner in your pantry or a corner somewhere in your house that's not being used, you can put away almost 200 pounds of dried foods in 3 of these containers stacked on top of each other, and they don't take that much room. Now, I think this works great for pretty much anything that is a dry product, all right, that you want to keep moisture away from it. That seal on that lid does a great job at keeping moisture out, and whenever I open it to use it, I just open it, take out what I need, and seal it right back up. I don't let it stay open for a long time because you really don't want any humidity getting in there into your dry products. That's your dry products enemies, is humidity. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, that's all I've got for today. I just wanted to show you this because I was getting ready to fill this back up, and I was like, you know what, this has done a great job for the last year and a half or so that I've had it, and I wanted to share this with you guys. That way, if you guys are interested in getting one, you can go get one. So having said that, I hope you guys have a great day. I'm working from home today, so I got to get ready to go to work. Got to go get my coffee ready and get on my couch with my computer. So I hope you guys have a great day today. Thank you very much for joining in. Remember to be good to each other. When good people do good things happen. Remember to reach one, teach one, and repeat. If we all did this, the world would be a better place. And you know that it will be a better place. Many blessings to all of you and your families. This is Alaska Prepper. I'm out.